Hello, everyone. This is Gia here with Parent Voices Unfiltered, and we have a great IG Live for you today. We have a couple of guests today for our IG Live. We have Francis, who should be joining us soon. And also, we have a special guest. I'm going to have my daughter join us after a little while in our discussion. Welcoming Francis into the IG. Hi, Francis.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going.
Can you hear me?
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing? I love your earring.
Oh, thank you. Good. I'm so happy to have you on our IG today. Um,
Thank you. I know sometimes I can jump on, sometimes I can, but the topic caught my eye, so that's excellent. Thank you for thinking of me.
yes, definitely. So, um, for our topic today, we just had our Knowledge is Power event, so wanted to talk about some key things on knowledge is power, and then also um, think about ways to celebrate Black history and diversity, and how that also correlates with knowledge is power for Black people. And so um, we have Francis here. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to the viewers.
Hi, my name is Frances Brown with Franimate Studios. I'm just a regular working person, and I just been working with Parent Voices on and off for I want to say shoot, at least since 2014 or something, maybe sooner than that. But just working with this fine group of parents and people that are advocating and just trying to push the agenda to help with, all the different needs that are legislatively bound, but that trickle down to the people in regards to child care and the quality of child care. So very happy to be here and contribute.
Yes, thank you so much. Um, we are excited to have you here, and also we want to welcome everyone in our chat. Feel free to make, you know, comments, or if you have questions, we'll be answering questions throughout the live, and also having a great discussion today. Um, so basically, we're here wanting to really highlight important key things with South East. And each year, Parent Voices have an event called Knowledge is Power. And Knowledge is Power, is an event where um, parent leaders and Parent Voices members and the organizers get together, and it's a training, and it it goes through the budget process, and it's like really
Mm-hmm.
for new advocates, for advocates that've been in the field for years. It's just a way to really hone in onto key concepts of understanding the budget process and what that means for childcare. What are your thoughts about knowledge is power, and how it's important for families?
In relation to Black History Month, I think a lot about literature and reading and mm, the the importance of boosting not only African American literature but improving the literacy rates for African American students. And because knowledge is power, I've always been a big advocate of going to the library and participating with different library events. And yes, there are libraries at the kids' schools, but there are also public libraries that have lots of events. Some of them have STEM events, some of them have authors, they'll have book readings. Um, And I, being a published author myself, self-published, but um, just making sure that that literature is out there as far as African American literature, so that it is interesting to kids. And what I have been noticing over the last year or so, since I've been taking my kids to the library, is the increased amount of African American based graphic novels and literature for kids. And there's some popular ones out there that are really, really good that aren't, they don't have African American characters or that cultural base. But there are some that are out there, like Tristan Strong. I'm reading one now to my kids, Isaiah Dunn. These are the titles, but very, very good culturally. And there's things that African American, young African American readers can relate to in many of those books, you know, and then just trying to create the same thing myself for young readers, you know, with the art and then with pictures, through pictures and things like that. I mean, there's tons of literature out there. Many of the things that I read to my kids, they do not feature African American characters. So, and knowledge is power, you know. Harry Potter, extremely good series. Dr. Dolittle, extremely good series to read. But you want to find books where your kids can connect. If, you know, and even with any culture, you know, and I try to check out books that have to do with that involve characters that look like, you know, minorities and have the cultures of them. I checked out a book not too long ago about the oh my gosh, I forgot what it was about. The Spring Festival, but it's a different culture, and it was an amazing book about how they I cannot think of it. Oh my gosh, because there was a guy that I used to work with that celebrated it as well, and I'm like, this is awesome. But just learning and understanding different cultures through literature, not just watching movies all day. I mean, TV, you know, TV is very limited on what it's going to give you, but literature, it helps the child open their mind and think about what they're reading. So that's what I'm pushing.
Sorry if you hear in the background, they're doing the landscape. My house.
It's okay. I know it's your eye. My guy might show up anytime too. I don't know. These landscape, you know, it's no joke.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. So that's exactly what we're talking about with knowledge is power. Really advocating for those types of resources for our families, and particularly, you know, for Black community, we want to celebrate and highlight those types of resources for our kids. You know, Karen Bush is really great about those things, and to continue to bring forth those types of you know, needs for our families is really great. Which also brings me to just also emphasize like upcoming like initiatives for literature. I know you know, Dolly Parton has her literacy program, and so recently I found out that they are actually making it statewide for California families, and so I think it's a nice resource. The books do incorporate different things about like culture and heritage, and so parents should actually go online and look. You know, if they have 0 to 5-year-olds, it's early childhood. They can sign up and receive free books like for your kids. And I've already started to receive some books from my kids that show beautiful Black kids and literature, which I love. So that's just a free resource. So if parents are watching or, you know, tuning in, they can go online and sign up to receive free books for their 0 to 5-year-olds.
Yes. Yes, and it's interesting that you talked about what Dolly Parton's doing. I recently saw something on Instagram where Steph Curry and his wife are going to be opening like several libraries in the Bay Area, you know, because they've had a lot of, you know, school shutdowns and things like that. And I'm understanding through some sources that they're not even teaching math in some of the schools, you know. And then so if you're not teaching math, I mean, a big part of math is word problems, you know. And if the children are illiterate, they can't read the word problems. And then if, they can't, you know, what I can kind of see is that teaching reading isn't as simple as it seems. Like you would think that's automatically happening in the school, but it's not. I think sometimes it's just assumed that your child knows how to read. And then in terms of public health, illiteracy is a public health crisis, you know. I mean, if you can't read a book, then I know people that graduated from high school not knowing how to read, you know. And it's imperative that uh, as parents that we make the effort to reach our children. When we were talking about summer programs, there's the summer reading program. My kids got their medals, okay. And then the other thing is that you notice that there's no reading programs during the rest of the year. It's just in the summer. So I definitely encourage families to set up a reading program internally in your home. Set up a chart. Award your kids for reading so many hours or so many pages a day, and then designated time outside of their homework. And I know, okay, we could do a whole week worth of Instagram on doing homework with your kids, okay? And the time that it takes, like I get off of work at 5 and then I'm like, okay, now I got to set up all this stuff for you. And it's not a problem, but on top of the homework, and I'm not saying it's unfortunate, it will benefit your child later on, okay? Because your child won't be asking you to fill out their job applications and things like that, okay? But you definitely want to designate some time and be consistent with reading with your kids and letting them read to you. I mean, I have my kid do it when I'm cooking dinner.
I think, no, I think that's so wonderful, and I think we could talk even more about that. We can maybe incorporate that also in a later IG that we would recommend for our kids, like, especially we try to pay, attention to, kids of color, make sure that all their needs are being met as we incorporate all these beautiful things about culture and diversity that they're still understanding really beautiful things about their identity and who they are.
Mm-hmm.
So, so in our training, we also talk about these things too, like cultural humility. We did in the Knowledge of is Power. We did skits, and it talks about just having cultural humility and understanding people's personal experiences or family experiences, like their stories, like if a parent has family fees or just really highlighting those types of things, or a parent has a particular cultural need, like their kids primarily speak Spanish, and really being understanding of that and saying we do have resources that will really pay attention to those types of needs. So that's why I really love the training, and I think you're bringing up really great points about more comprehensive public policies that really highlight, reading programs and, trips to the library for our kids. Because I also I love taking my kids to the library. I've been really, wanting to be immersed in the resources that they have. They have, nice programs. So I think that's a really great idea. What about, so we're talking about, also understanding, diversity in families, like our families that parent voices. What do you think is also really great about, the diversity in providers and the child care settings? Do you want to speak to that?
Yes, that's extremely important because, a little self-disclosure, I have 6 children, and out of all those children, there was only one African American provider that I ran into out of all those years of needing childcare. I've come to the end of my journey of needing childcare. Thank you, Lord. Uh, um, and but what I have found is that many African American providers do not tend to work with the programs that will reimburse them, and they they have cited issues with different programs or something, and they say, okay, I'll just and then trying to even maybe some of their clientele not enrolling in those programs, or just saying, okay, it's just easier for them to just pay cash and things like that. And then I've also found that some of the providers that are African American, they do it that way, and then they are like, they end up being not paid for a lot of their services. They're like, they just keep people's kids just because they need it, or people may have different stories and things like that. I have found that even with African American providers, childcare providers, even though they're African American, they'll have a diverse array of children in their home. They're not all African American children, but a majority are, because that's just I've had to work with providers of different nationalities, and I really haven't had any remarkable issues, in terms of I, I've only had one. I've only had one issue, and that was at a daycare, and unfortunately, it was found. I mean, the daycare provider, she was white, but she was found to be discriminating against my son at the time he was 2, and she was fired from her job. And then, so that was the most egregious. And then outside of that, I think that in terms of race, but the other issues that I had, I don't think they were in relation to the race of my children.
I
Um,
think that
yeah.
no, I think that is like really important to like understand like the different when we bring our kids to childcare facilities, whether it's like home daycares or licensed daycares, we do expect for for things about culture to be inclusive, especially even
Mm-hmm.
providers. And so I think it is, I think the state is working towards like really paying closer attention to those things, which I think is great. I think I've been fortunate enough to have child care providers that I think have done really great with that, but it's also important to be mindful of maybe if people are not as culturally sensitive to, others, and really talking to the point of that we want people to be understanding that our kids are really important, and that we do want them to understand nice things about people from diverse cultures and diverse settings, and um, and what that means for all of us in understanding the future. So I do also want to talk more about like upcoming events that we have, because I know Parent Voices is doing such great work and really advocating for all these things. And I have my daughter here who we want to talk about a little bit more gearing up for Stand for Children's Day, because I know it's a little ways away, but we're still excited. So I want her to come on and um, talk with everyone, Parent Voices, about some of the things she understands about being a child, a kid, a teen of a Black mom that's an advocate. So I'll have her come
Okay.
on. Do you want to join? You can just scoot in. I know. You can try to fix the camera. There she is.
I know. It's so cute. It's some Black girl magic. Here we got it going on.
So she's 13 for you to be seeing the camera. So,
Hello there.
and she just wanted to talk a little bit about Stanford Children's Day.
I think Stanford Children is very, very, it's very fun for the kids and adults. Um, and I love the marches and making friends and just the reason why we all do it. And yeah.
Oh, I know podium and tell their stories. And since she was like really young, she's been like up there, holding up the signs and screaming and yelling for childcare. So I just think it's really important. Me, being a black mom, you know, and diversity in their heritage. It's really important that they understand the work that goes with understanding, love and care. And so we wanted to talk about care for children. That's coming up, so we're really excited. We'll have show you the camera.
Well, Gia,
To so we'll have the twins and um,
Yeah, I can say you're definitely leading the way for your daughter, and being, I mean, she's seeing it. I mean, I'm telling you, our kids are seeing everything we're doing, especially now since there's a lot of, work from home options and things like that. But I think you're just being an awesome beacon for her, and then I'm glad that you're exposing her to more awesome parents and kids. And you can hear mine there, but it's just passing the torch. She'll be ready for you to pass the torch for the next generation of childcare advocacy. Okay, or whatever you want to advocate for. There's so many things. So just be strong, and Auntie Franny is
I
here.
know. And then
Mm.
next is an artist too. So Deanna, do you want to talk about some things that I talked to you about just with your art and being a beautiful black girl?
Um, art just helps me express my feelings and I don't know, it's just one of my hobbies and I don't know,
It's
I'm
okay.
shy.
It's okay. So she does.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. You gotta just keep drawing. Like, get your drawing pad. I don't care if it's like a, you know, it's draw every page, fill it up, front, back, forward, cover, everything. Just fill it up and just keep drawing. And I mean, did you see the caricature of your mother that I drew? Yeah, and take that and then like redraw that and make caricatures and do all kinds of stuff. You just, I know you got skills. You got something you can show us?
You
Yeah,
want to show
Really
her
fast.
some?
Don't be shy.
Okay, so she'll grab some of her artwork, but I know
Okay, let's check it out. Yeah.
several years now, so I've just been really encouraging her to continue to art class and so
Mm-hmm.
have her do art camp. But I think it's wonderful. You're a great artist, so that's why I'm like talk with Francis. Oh,
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
the chat. I have a request to join the chat too.
Okay, who is here?
Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
I just finished meeting up with Assembly Member Matt Henney, so I just saw you guys join in.
Oh yes, we love to have parent voices.
Have you
Uh,
seen me before? I know you before.
yes,
Yes,
um, Parent Voices San Francisco. You also were at their meeting, right?
I was. Yeah, we went to the state capitol.
Yes.
Okay, what is this meeting about?
Well, right now we do our IGs, and right now our topic for this episode is knowledge is power, and then we're also celebrating Black History. So I have my daughter here who is an artist. I just had her talk with Francis. We're just talking about beautiful things about Black diversity and celebrating Black History Month and how parent voices really um, help, different people advocate for really important, you know, public policies. I don't know, did she, I think her call dropped. Are you still there, Francis? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Oh,
you. I'm sorry, I had muted myself.
oh no.
Yes, I'm here. But yeah, public policy, that's a big part. And I think um, there's something else coming down the pike. And I'm just saying, everybody just, um, as parents, make your homes welcoming for your children, make them diverse, make them everything that it can possibly be, and when your children are at home, take advantage of that as much as you can, because our impact on them when they're in the home is very important so that when they're in other settings with their childcare providers or at their schools and things like that, um, whoever is teaching them, their teachers, their providers, they can see the impact of what you do in their lives,
So,
in their home.
yes. And so Deanna wanted to share some of her art, and this is why honoring diversity, even within Black families, is so important to me. And, and this is what she wanted to share with her artwork today.
Let's see. That is awesome. Oh my gosh. That's great. That's great. Is that like scratchboard? What is that? Is she going to talk about it?
But it's from a
Is
book,
that?
a collage.
Oh, that's awesome. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, so
That's great.
it
You
was
gotta put that in your background, Gia.
her.
You gotta put it
Really.
behind you. Okay.
So I know we do have like just a few minutes. I just wanted to, tell you thank you so much for joining the live. You're always a wonderful guest, and
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thank you.
welcome other Parent Voices members and leaders that we do. We want them to join our live each month. We're going to have another next month. So you're both also welcome to join the live. It'll be 8. And so this month, since it's February, we're just highlighting nice things about, Black history and all the great work that Parent Voices is doing with various families, different families throughout California, and all these important public policies that we'll continue to advocate for this upcoming year. So I just want to say thank you both so much for joining. I want you to come back next month, okay? So maybe we can schedule you both to come back and be on our panel discussion.
Oh, that would be great. I don't know why it pulled me up, but I heard all the conversation you guys have. The video went off a minute ago.
Yes, I'll go ahead and put, just in case you don't have my email, I'll put my email under Parent Voices CA. You can email me if you're also wanting to continue to join us on the live. So I'll send you information, details about everything each month, okay?
Yes.
I'm gonna
So
say I
my
need a
name is
t-shirt.
Salam J, sir. Hi, sorry.
No,
Oh,
I'm so glad you joined.
I
Thank you so
gotta get a t-shirt. I gotta coordinate with everybody else. Y'all got it going on. I'm like, I'm gonna have to get a t-shirt.
Did you want to say anything else about any important things you've been working on?
No, I was just curious how did the Instagram live work, and then just how I learned something new. Happy Black History Month. I'm Ethiopian. I celebrate this month. I have culture and I love it. Yes.
Yes.
I
Yes, I have
love
Ethiopian in our family.
dancing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much. We'll see you all next month on Parent Voices Unfiltered. Thank
Yeah.
you. Have a great day.
Follow me the sprinkle and send me the request sometimes when you have the meeting.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you guys. Sorry.
Thank you.